Hey guys, welcome. I am back. I'm feeling much better. I hope everybody out there, all you guys are doing okay. I know we've had lots of people feeling under the weather lately. So I hope everybody is at least maintaining or feeling better. So this is for anybody new here, this is our welcome. First of all, thank you for joining us. This is our Missing Person Monday live stream a day late again. We usually do it on Mondays, hence Missing Person Monday. But there was a lot going on yesterday it was a holiday and the ball game was going on. Although I begrudgingly say congratulations to Ohio State for being the national champions. Sorry for any Ohio State fans out there that may be watching. But I actually slept through most of the game. But anyway, so I decided to push it back to tonight. But hopefully next week, we'll be back to our regular schedule on a Monday night at 8:15 Central, as usual. So tonight, as I said, is our Missing Person Monday, and tonight we're doing Wisconsin, and I think this is the last of the Midwestern states. And then I'll let you guys vote. You can either put in chat, or if you're watching replay, leave a comment. Whether we want to go to the West Coast or to the East Coast next, because I think those are the only two left. Because we've done the Central states, we're finishing up the Midwestern states tonight, and I think we just got East Coast and West Coast. So I will let you guys decide where we want to go next. I have a feeling, I just have a feeling what most of you are going to pick, but I will let you decide. And goodness gracious, first let me start. Welcome everybody in chat. Once again, everybody in chat, all the lurkers, once again, everybody watching on replay, thank you. We love our replay crew. But let me start out with, we've got a whole bunch of specials. Vid inquiries, $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'll be in bed before this begins. We'll rewatch hugs. Thank you so much, Vid. one of our loyal supporters. Absolutely. Miss Farr is already at it. Miss Farr gifted 5 Southern Gal True Crime memberships. Thank you so much, my dear. You are a blessing. A blessing. Thank you so much. And Arctic, our own Arctic Fox True Crime, has been a member for 5 months. Thank you so much, Arctic. We love Arctic around here. He is amazing. Please do check him out. Thank you so much for being a member and a supporter. And Miss Farr, $10 Australian. Thank you for all you do. No, thank you guys. I couldn't do it without you guys. I would be up here talking to myself. But thank you so much, Miss Farr, Arctic, Vid. So much appreciated. So guess what? We get to start filling the pasture up early. So there is everyone's moo cow so far. For anybody new who may be wondering, what the heck is that? For anybody who donates, and all the money that's donated goes right back into the channel. Membership anniversaries gets a moo cow as a thank you. And thank you, Mom, MindofMonsters, made that gift for me. I just love it so much. I think all of you guys love it too. So thank you so much to everybody. Let's see who else we have in here. Lots of people in here. Like I said, Vid was in here earlier. Chris is here. Hello, Chris. Good to see you. Our Spice Girl, Miss Lisa Joe, was here. Always good to have Miss Lisa here. Miss Nancy is back. Welcome, Miss Nancy. Good to have you here. Miss Paula, who is always here, very loyal, is here. Always good to see Miss Paula. Please do check out Miss Paula's channel. And I'm sure everybody with wrenches, who is, most people in here have wrenches, because I throw around wrenches like Dave, Alan the Proud throws them around. Can put any channel links in for me. Excuse me. I ate supper not too long ago, and anyway, let's see. So thank you, Miss Paula, for being here. Junior made it. He said he did I miss, where did it go? I know he commented earlier that Junior had been actually been making it, staying up until 10 p.m. So thank you, Junior, for being here. Another loyal supporter and good friend from the beginning. Always good to have Junior. He's in Michigan. Yeah, and I hope everybody is staying warm. It has been cold. Well, for Arkansas, I'm in Arkansas, for anybody who doesn't know. It has been cold here. I got out and worked today. I didn't try to work yesterday because it was in the 20s yesterday. And then today it wasn't a whole lot warmer. It got up into the 30s, but the wind chill was in the 20s. So I'm still trying to thaw out, mostly my feet. My feet stay so cold. So anyway, I hope everybody everywhere is staying warm, especially down in Louisiana, Texas. The Gulf Coast is getting hit right now, all the way from Texas, all the way over through Florida, Alabama. I think I was watching the Weather Channel earlier, and I have it on mute over here on the TV, and I think they said around New Orleans has gotten 9 inches of snow, which is crazy. That almost never. I think it had been since like 1895 since Louisiana had gotten that kind of snow. Unreal. Did I say hi to Chris already? Nope. Okay. Sorry, I forgot where I was. Where was I at? I was at Junior. Sorry, guys. I'm going the wrong way. There's Junior. Chris is here. I may have already said hello, but hello again, Chris. Arctic is here. Our friend Arctic. Hello, T. I hope you are feeling better. I know Arctic has been one of the ones that's been feeling under the weather. I know. I think Miss Barbara Hall, I think she's doing better. So I hope. So Arctic, I hope you're feeling a little bit better. Yeah, Chris was asking Junior how the weather is. Yep. Let's make sure I don't miss anybody. Miss Lisa Joe. Mark Schumann is here. Welcome, Mark. Good to have you here. Yes. Chris says, we're excited for you to show your face and continue the advocacy. Yes. Finally felt well enough this week to actually show my face. Last week, last couple live streams, I haven't, because I just was with the red nose and the stuffiness and the, red eyes. I just, but I'm feeling much better, and I'm excited to be back on camera. Oh goodness, we got some more. Oh no, those are the ones I've already done. Okay. Just don't want to miss anybody. There's Miss Kimber. Hello, Miss Kimber. How are you doing, ma'am? Always good to have you here. Yes, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much to Miss Farr. Absolutely. Miss Lisa Joe says East Coast for the vote of whether what states are going to start on next. I figured that was going to be the trend. So Miss Lisa Joe has voted for East Coast. Speaking of East Coast, there is our friend Dave out on the prowl. I don't know if he's working. He's probably driving and listening. I know Dave will probably vote for the East Coast because he is on the East Coast. And hold on, something's dinging in my ear. Oh goodness. One of my brothers maybe in the chat or watching. I don't know if he's in the chat, because he texted me and said, nice hair. Hey, look, I did what I could. All right. It's just up in a ponytail. So one of my brothers is already harassing me. The baby brother. That's all right. That's what little brothers are for. I was going to wear it down, but I'd had it up in a ponytail at work today. So, the gals out there, the women will know what I'm talking about. And maybe some men, if you have long hair, if you wear your hair in a ponytail all day, you have that ring. When you pull it down, you have that ring, and you just can't do nothing with it. Plus, I guess because we've had the heat on, it's been so dry, my hair has a lot of static electricity in it. So I brushed it. When I was brushing it out, I looked like Bozo because it was sticking out. So I'm just like, I'm going to go with the ponytail. I'm not here to impress anybody with the looks. I'm here to provide information. Oh, goodness. Gotta love little brothers. But yes, Dave is here. Please check out Dave out on the prowl. And I did finally make it back Saturday night, Sunday morning to Dave's live stream. So please check it out. I did share it on Facebook and on my community tab here on YouTube. So please check out Dave. He does an excellent job. There's Miss Peggy. Good to have you here. She says, hey, everyone. I've been waiting for Wisconsin, my home state. Well, I'm glad I'm doing your home state tonight. Let's see. Just don't want to miss anybody. Get caught up in comments, and we will get started. Alice saying, David, you working tonight? Thank you very much. Arctic has got Dave's link in, out on the prowl. Hello again, Miss Nancy Drew. Murder mystery. I've got two pair of glasses in case I have to switch. Murder Mystery Delmarva. Please check out Miss Nancy. There's Miss Doodle. Hello. Welcome, Doodle. One of my favorite people. Please do check out Doodlebug also. Just want to welcome. I'm just going to call you Firelight because I don't want to butcher your first name. So you got a gifted membership. Excellent. She says, thank you for the gifted membership. Excellent. Excellent. I see Firelight in Dave's chats. And she also has an excellent channel. Please check it out. I've watched some of her stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So I'm glad you got gifted the membership. Yeah, I can't see it on this side, but on the YouTube side, you guys can let me know. You can see who got gifted the memberships that were so graciously once again donated by Farr. from Australia. I don't know what kind of accent I was trying to do there. That was horrible. Thank you very much. Arctic has got Miss Paula, our channel in there, and Doodle. Doodle says that is adorable. Are you talking about the cow, or I don't know what you're talking about? Yes, yeah, yay the cow. Dave is chatting a lot, so he may not be driving yet, or he may be off tonight. Yes, we cannot forget Mr. Steve and Mrs. Steve, True Crime Web. I know that Mr. Steve has been really busy between. I think he got maybe snowed in Georgia when all that snow came in last week, and then he was maybe sick or traveling. They had family time, which is always excellent, and then he was helping somebody, probably Mrs. Steve, posted on their community tab that the other day that he was helping a family with missing or a cold case missing. So God bless Mr. Steve, everything that he does. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry, my brother was calling me. He is not in the chat. He was he is sending me some kind of pictures. I don't know what he was sending me. So I will look at them after we get done here. So I apologize for the interruption. So I forgot what I was saying. Yes, check out True Crime Web. Absolutely. Miss Doodle has been a member for 7 months. She says, thank you for all your hard work. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for all your hard work. Miss Doodle does hard work. So guess what? We get to put another cow in the pasture. Let me find it. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. So we have another cow in the pasture. Thank you so much, Miss Doodle. All right. Yes. Everybody loves the moo cow. There's Sunday Doodles. Says I'm late. I need to speak to the manager. The managers, the little furry managers, are currently locked out of the bedroom right now because they were running amok, especially little Biscuit, a little wild child. So I had to shut the door, or he would be tearing up Jack. Yeah, for any, if you're a member, I post on my community tab. I post a lot of pictures of my cats, Little Biscuit and a Sir Tigger. So they were holding me hostage the other day, the other morning when I was trying to get up and get ready for work. But welcome, Sunday. Good to have you here. Hello, Mom. Good to have you here. Another one of my favorite people, MindofMonsters. If you have not checked out, as she says, if you have not checked out MindofMonsters, what are you doing with your life? So good to have you here, ma'am. Please do check out MindofMonsters, or Mom. Just wonderful human being, wonderful advocate. Just can't say enough about her. Wonderful person. Yes, Doodlebuck says, Mom is here. Yes, Mom is here. All right. Thank you, Arctic and Doodle are getting in all the links. Thank you so much. I don't know if you're talking to me, but thank you. Nancy says, love seeing you. Dave, yeah. Dave says, it's so cold out, even the cold is cold. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I had to break out my warm jammies to sleep in and toll around the house in, you know. It's crazy for here for Arkansas. It is crazy. Oh, Arctic. Oh, goodness. I'm just going to leave that up there. I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. Oh, goodness. Kimber, it says new member, but I think you've been a member. You've been a member, so thank you. So we get to add another cow to the pasture. Thank you, Miss Kimber. Thank you so much. I almost pushed the wrong button. I'm gonna send this into a dumpster fire. Oh goodness. Okay. Yeah, I think Kimber was one of my first members. I know Miranda was probably my first member, and Kimber I think was not too far behind if I'm not mistaken, because I try to keep a watch out on my YouTube studio to keep it with my members. She says she's good. Hope all is well with you. All is well, much better with me. Welcome, Mystified and Misting podcast. Mystified and Misting podcast. Mystified and Missing here. Thanks for having me. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We always love having new people here, especially especially creators. Absolutely. So if you have a YouTube channel, somebody can throw the link in. Absolutely. Good to have you here. Yes, definitely excited to have you here. Thank you. Arctic is on it as always. Mr. Lance is here from Canada. Hello, Lance. I hope you're staying. I think Canada, Lance, y'all's weather's down here in our backyard drunk. Could you come get it? Take it back up there with you. Oh, goodness. I'm just a spoiled Southern girl. I do not like all this cold weather. Oh goodness. Junior says I just came back from my walk. It is 2 degrees outside. That is dedication. Taking a walk. Junior's out taking a walk in 2-degree weather. Kudos to you, sir. Mom says I just shove a hat on and say, oh, you're talking about the hair? Yeah. Or the cold, either one. Yeah. You are very welcome. You're very welcome. Oh, Lisa Joe says I passed out during the last live stream, I think. Oh, and Dave's live stream. Oh, you're not. Dave said he has that effect on a lot of people. You're not boring, Dave. Thank you, Miss Kimber, and everybody who's throwing in links for me. I always forget to thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, Doodle loves the cow too. Thank you, Miss Lisa Joe, for throwing in links. Yes, excuse me. Yes, Doodle said, Arctic Fault, sure hope you're feeling better. Absolutely. Of course. Dave said Mr. Steve is following him with the high beams on. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I heard you say you had an infection. I hope that clears up. I've had sinus infections, but I've never had them get into my eye. Oh, my mom says, where did she go? Oh, it might have been when I went off to answer the phone. Lisa Joe says, Arctic has the cooties, has pink eye. Thank you. Patriotism has been a member for 1 month. Dawn is one of the best. Thank you so much. I just get up here and babble, try to get the information across. But guess what? We're filling up the pasture tonight. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Absolutely. It's absolutely appreciated. Oh, yeah. I wonder who made that cute cow. I love it. Oh, goodness. Arctic says if it doesn't clear up soon, he's going to go to the eye doctor. I think the tear duct is clogged. Yes, get to the doctor. Some kind of doctor. Yes, everybody loves biscuits. And I do pick anybody who's on Facebook. I do post pictures of Biscuit and Tigger on Facebook also. Biscuit is a mess. I'm telling you, he is a mess. All right. Oh, good. Yeah, Tigger and Biscuit get to running amok and chasing each other. Arctic says, Smokey and Sylvester were chasing each other around my office this morning. Knocked my microphone off the desk and unplugged the laptop. Yeah. Sounds like my two little fur boys. They're crazy. Crazy, crazy. Oh, goodness. Miss Lisa Joe is up in northern Minnesota. She says it was minus 29 there this morning. Feels like minus 44. I hate everything. Yes, I would hate everything if it was that cold too. I can't even handle the 20 degrees here. Oh, goodness. Lance says sometimes it gets to be minus 55 degrees Celsius in Alberta. God bless y'all. I don't see how y'all do it. Yeah, Miss Kimber, I was thinking that you had been a member for a while now. Yeah, I had to renew. No, we haven't missed anything yet. I'm fixing to get started. Just getting caught up in comments. What is a frost? Let me make reading this. Doodle says we had our first frost quake. What is a frost quake? It was weird but neat. I've never heard of a frost quake. You'll have to explain that to me, Miss Doodle. Uh-oh. Lisa Jo says Lance has been listening to her whine on Facebook for a week. Artie says that he's in a different part of, he's in northwestern Arkansas. He says it's 18 here, 18 there now. He's not leaving his electric blanket. I don't blame you. I'm in central Arkansas, and I forgot to look to see what it was. On the way home from work at about 5, I think the car said it was 25 here. But it's probably dropped a lot now since the sun's gone down. Yeah, Nancy says she does not do cold or walking. I'm with you. Patricia says we want more cow, please. Instead of more cowbell, you want more cow. I'm sure we can make that happen. Oh, okay. Chris says Mystified is the one who did the petition that I sent you. Excellent. Thank you. Doodle says the cow sure reminds me of an awesome drama llama. Yes, if you have not seen Mom's Drama Llama, get over there and watch you some Drama Llama. Do I owe you a cow? Well, I can do some more cows. We can fill up the pasture. There's some more cow. More cow. Now Doodle says she wants a biscuit. I have a biscuit cat I can send you. Oh, goodness. Okay, so Doodle says a frost quake is where it gets so cold the ground freezes and cracks. When it buckles and cracks, it shakes the house like an earthquake, but just for like 3 seconds. Oh, I learn something new every day. Wow. That is crazy. All right, I am caught up, so we will get started. We're already 30 minutes in. People are going to be saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right, so like I said, tonight we are doing missing in Wisconsin. I got, I believe, 6 cold cases, missing person cold cases. And first, we have Sandra Bertolas. I think I already have her information up. Yes. So Sandra has been missing since April 24th, 1988 from West Allis, Wisconsin. She's a white female. She was 20 years old at the time she went missing. She will be 57 years old as of 2025. At the time she went missing, she was 5'6" and 150 to 160 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. Her nickname is Sandy. It says she took great care with her appearance. She usually wore makeup and hair products. She was last seen wearing a blue tweed jacket and black pants, and she was carrying a large white purse. And it says she was pregnant at the time of her disappearance. So Sandra, or Sandy, was last seen. It gives her missing date as April 24th. It just says she was last seen sometime in 1988 at the Red Carpet Lanes bowling alley, which was on West Latham Street in West Allis, Wisconsin. She was planning to confront her boyfriend as she found out that he had been seeing someone else, and also that he had given her a false last name and home address. So this is not starting out very well right at the get-go here. So Sandy's boyfriend, who worked the 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. shift, called in sick the day of her disappearance. He later admitted that he called her at least twice that day. Sandy told people that he had, quote, begged to see her, and when she said she could not afford the gas, he offered to pay for gas, and she finally agreed to go meet him. After that, she's never been seen again. Her white car, which was her prized possession, was found abandoned in the parking lot of the Red Carpet Lanes on April 27th. So that would have been about 3 days after she was reported missing, or last time she was seen. No evidence as to her fate, what may have happened, was located inside the car. Apparently, there's no sign of struggle or anything of that nature. When authorities interviewed Sandy's boyfriend, he said he did not see her on the night of her disappearance, and that he said he never gave her a false name. He also said that he had no idea that she was pregnant, although Sandy had told people that she had told him about the pregnancy. So the boyfriend refused to be interviewed a second time, and after that, he would not cooperate any further with the investigation. So you can get out your red flags if you don't have them out already. I'm not saying, but so dogs did track Sandy's scent to the Mount Olivet Cemetery in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Authorities later learned that the cemetery caretaker was Sandy's boyfriend's father, and that the boyfriend, the one who supposedly gave her the false name, false address, claimed he didn't know she was pregnant. He had also worked at the cemetery before. A napkin was found in Sandy's room with the address of the cemetery written on it. So I'm wondering if, because earlier it said that he was begging to meet her, I'm wondering if he wanted, for some reason, he wanted her to meet him at the cemetery. Now, I could be totally off the base on that, but I don't know why else there would be a napkin with the address for the cemetery on it. There could be a perfectly innocent explanation, but it makes you wonder. Just something to think about. Police believe foul play was involved in Sandy's case, possibly at the hands of her boyfriend, who now works as a firefighter, ironically. Prosecutors conducted a now, don't know, somebody might have to explain to me what this is. It says prosecutors conducted a 21-month John Doe probe into the case in 2002, and over 50 witnesses testified before a grand jury, but the probe concluded without any indictments being issued. So does that mean they were maybe... I've never heard of a John Doe probe. I've obviously heard of a grand jury. So I wonder if it was in relation to the boyfriend. So Sandy was the youngest of 8 children. She resided with her parents in I'm trying not to say this wrong, Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin at the time of her disappearance. She was studying business and marketing at Waukesha County Technical College. She worked part-time as a beautician at a cost cutter's hair salon in 1988. Unfortunately, her father passed away in 2010, but the rest of her family is still alive and hope that she will be found. Her loved ones do believe she is deceased, and they have purchased a cemetery plot for her next to her father's grave. So if you have any information regarding Sandy's case, you can call the Menomonee Falls Police Department at 262-532-8700. And I have an article. I'm hoping I kept all my articles in the right order. Make sure this is the right one. Yes, so this article is from April of 2018, and it is from, I'm assuming, a local news website. The family of a missing, sorry, it keeps jumping on me, Menomonee Falls woman is still waiting for answers about what happened to Sandra Bertolas 30 years later. The 20-year-old left her home on April 24th, 1988, and never returned. Dorothy Bertola, 87. I'm going to assume maybe that's her mother. Let me see if it says. I'm assuming that's her mother. Her mother says, "I want you to know I share your heartbreak and your sorrow." Hold on. It says, "I want you to know I share your heartbreak and sorrow," said Dorothy Bertola, 87, who read from a card to her family. She spent this April 24th sitting with her daughters, reading cards sent to her from people who remember Sandra. The family said 3 decades ago on a Sunday evening, Sandra left the family's Menomonee Falls home to meet her boyfriend. Her sister, Donna Shepherd, said he had been lying to her about their relationship. This is a very poorly written article. It bugs me. Shepherd said she went to confront him with that information, and no one has heard from her since. Sorry, there's a lot of ads in this. Days after her disappearance, Sandra's car was found in West Allis, but no sign of her. Sandra's family does not believe she is still alive. They have searched for years for her remains, hoping for something to bury in a plot that is waiting for her. Shepherd said, "We do not have a grave. A body was never found." Sandra's sister Paula says, "Not knowing is a hard place to be. You can see after 30 years, it still hurts." This year, once again, this is from 2018, Sandra would have been 50. When she disappeared, she was working as a beautician and trying to get a business degree. The family imagines she would have kids of her own by now, but they said the worst is imagining she will never be laid to rest. Another sister, named Laura, says there is someone out there who knows something, and they still have not come forward. So not only do we have Sandy missing, but she was pregnant, so we have a unborn baby that is missing. Sorry, I'm trying to get through the ads. Dorothy Bertola says she was a human being and passed away. We don't even know how or when, just that she never came home. The family is hoping someone who knows something will contact the in the Monty Falls Police Department at 262-532-8700, or you can leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers online or at 888-441-5505. I think that was it. So yeah, just like I said, not only do we have Sandy missing, she was pregnant, so we have an unborn child missing. And let me get down to where I was at in comments. I see lots of red flags as I'm going down through here. All right. Junior says it's going to be minus 10 degrees in Adrian, Michigan tonight. Yes, red flags, absolutely. Patriotism says it's 28 in Alabama right now. Yep, absolutely. Arctic says, well, so far the boyfriend looks shady. Absolutely. I mean, he supposedly gave her a false name, a false address, claimed he didn't know she was pregnant, although friends said that Sandy did tell him that she was pregnant. He was the last one to see her, I believe. It said they had an argument, and she was never seen again. I'm still with this cemetery thing. I mean, why else? I mean, I'm thinking that maybe, and I could be totally off base, this is just pure speculation on my part, that maybe he wanted, since they had the napkin with the address of the cemetery, maybe he was trying to lure her to the cemetery. Oh, more red flags. Yep, Miss Kimber says absolutely very shady. Miss Kimber says need some shade in the summer, stand next to him. Absolutely. Miss Nancy says, you know, I hate always blaming the spouse, but they always seem so guilty. I know. But I mean, the spouse or significant other is always the first one that law enforcement looks at anyway. And he didn't do himself, in my opinion, he didn't do himself any favors with the way he was acting, because it said after he was questioned the first time, he refused to be interviewed the second time and stopped cooperating. So most definitely some shadiness. Yeah, more red flags. Bunches of red. We got a red flag forest going on here. Yeah, Miss Lisa Joe says, quote, it's always the husband until it's not. I don't like that line of thinking either, but sometimes it's warranted. I got you. I understand. Yep, Junior, leave those. Yeah, everybody is having cold weather. Leave your faucets dripping. Leave your faucets dripping. Yep, Arctic says more red flags in the bullfight with this one. Absolutely. Yep, Arctic says Junior, make sure to leave the cabinets open and the water dripping. Absolutely. Okay, Miss Lisa Joe. Minnom Ani. Minnom Ani. Is that close, Miss Lisa Joe? Minnom Ani. Let me know if I'm close. Yes. Yeah, we also have to maybe kind of keep in mind the dad too. Sunday says the dad is interesting. His business address, her phone pings there. Okay, so Arctic says he's heard of a John Doe indictment before. So you have to explain exactly what it is at some point. I said, I've obviously heard of grand jury, indictments, but I've never heard of a John Doe indictment. Yes, most definitely foul play suspected, Miss Paula. Because even her family said they think that she is deceased. And that I think they said they already have bought a plot right beside her father. So just in case, hopefully, best case scenario, she's found alive and well somewhere with the baby. But if not, at least hopefully someday they can have some kind of remains to lay to rest properly beside her father. Yes, Miss Lisa Joe is correct. They even went so far as to say possibly at the hands of the boyfriend. Yep. Okay, thank you. Arctic says a John Doe DNA indictment. The indictment identifies the suspect by his genetic makeup, formally beginning the prosecution and allowing the prosecutor to skirt statutes of limitation. Thank you, Arctic. So John Doe DNA indictment. Got it. Got it. Got it. Thank you so much, sir. Gina says he's got a small electric heater under the bathroom. Lisa Joe says DNA from the vehicle. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that would be probably about the only place that DNA would be, unless I forgot what I've just read. But Lisa Joe says that would never fly. He was her boyfriend, apparently. Yeah, because he could have been in the car. Yeah, Lisa says I wonder why they looked to that Doe initiative. Yeah, like I said, I've never heard of that before now. Are you talking about the father? Chris says, is it possible that he was pretending to be her boyfriend? Yep, he told people he gave her a fake name. Yep. That is a good possibility. Lisa Joe says maybe she's still in the cemetery. That is true. Because I think it said the father still worked there. The boyfriend, who was the cemetery guy's son, used to work there. Now, once again, going out on speculation. We've seen weirder things before. Did they dig up another grave and throw her in there and cover it back up? I would be interested to know if back then there was any new graves that would have been easy just to kind of dig some dirt up and put a body in, and not to be too graphic, and cover back up. That would be interesting to know. Yes, Miss Doodle says, divorce and getting with child are the most dangerous times for a person. Absolutely. Yep. In domestic situations. Oh, I was close. I'm trying. I'm trying. Doodle says, reminds me of Amanda Jones. Where was that case from? Uh, as far as says, Lisa, I thought that pre-Doug. Yep. Yep. Lisa was on my train of thought too. She says maybe in a grave buried with someone else. That's what I was thinking. It did not say. Miss Lisa says, "Do we know what cemetery he worked at?" Just from the Charlie Project and then that article, it did not say. I don't think. Let me go back to the Charlie Project information really quickly, but I don't think it said which cemetery. Oh, come on. Oh, don't tell me things are fixed. Oh, there we go. I don't think it said exactly which cemetery. If I can find it. Oh, the Mount Olivet Cemetery in Milwaukee is a cemetery. Mount Olivet, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm glad I went back and looked because it did say that was the cemetery. So thank you for asking that, Miss Lisa Joe. All right, I am caught up. So we will go to next. We have Marie Bly. Let me find her information. Get a drink. Oh, I almost removed myself. I'm going to stop my cam for a minute while I'm reading. So this one has kind of an interesting twist. So Rosemary went missing on August 21st, 2009 from St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. She was a white female. She was 21 years old at the time she went missing. She'll be 37 years old as of 2025. At the time she went missing, she was 5 foot tall, 110 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a white tank top, a green V-neck sweater, blue jeans, and flip-flop sandals. She does have a tattoo, and I believe I included it on the slide there, that smaller picture. A tattoo of red cherries on the outside of her right ankle. Her ears and navel are pierced. She frequently changes the length and style of her hair. At the time of her disappearance, her hair was cut in a chin-length bob, and she may color her hair blonde or red. So Rosemary was last seen in the St. Croix Falls I'm probably saying it wrong again. St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin at 7:30 p.m. on August 21st, 2009. She left her home in the 2300 block of River Road to travel 4 or 5 miles to Cushing, Wisconsin to meet a cousin at a bar. She was driving a white 2001 Pontiac Grand Am with Wisconsin's license plate. Excuse me. Sometime that night, she contacted her husband and said that she would be home by midnight. She never arrived in Cushing, however, and she has never been seen or heard from again. Her car was found in a parking lot near a post office in Grantsburg, Wisconsin, 5 days after she disappeared. So this lot is normally used by semi-truck drivers to park their tractor trailers. The car was undamaged. There was no evidence of foul play. The keys were missing. Grantsburg is about 30 miles from St. Croix and is 15 miles from Cushing. And it does say that Rosemary does have family living there, and she did graduate from Grantsburg High School. She left behind a husband and 2 daughters under the age of 2. So sad when children are involved. Sorry, lost my place. She does not have any credit or debit cards. She left home with very little money. Her husband filed for divorce just 3 weeks after her disappearance, and he did seek a court order to prevent her from returning and taking the children. And it says they had married in February of 2009. Their relationship was troubled. Police were called to the home at least once to intervene in a DV incident. Her husband accused Rosemary of slapping him, and she accused him of putting her in a headlock and banging her head on the ground. He had previously filed for divorce in June of 2009, but he withdrew the filing after they reconciled. Her husband did pass a polygraph. He is not considered a suspect in her disappearance. His divorce petition was granted in 2010, and he does have sole custody of their daughters. It does say that she fell off a horse a week before she disappeared. She had told her mother that she was having headaches after the accident. Her mother told her to go see a doctor. There's no evidence that she did go see a doctor. Her mother speculated that Rosemary became disoriented due to this head injury and may have just wandered away, but there is no evidence, solid evidence to support this theory. So this is the twist part. In June of 2021, Rosemarie's 5-year-old niece, Summer Wells, disappeared from her home in Tennessee and has never been found. Obviously, the two cases are not thought to be related. Just thought that was an ironic twist. Obviously, both cases are unsolved. So if you have any information in Rosemarie's case, you can call the Polk County Sheriff's Department at 715-485-8300. And I think I have a short article with some an interview with her mother. And this article is from August of 2010. So it says, no mother would ever hope to recognize an anniversary like the one Candace Harrer acknowledged last week. Harrer's daughter, Marie Bly, then 21, of rural St. Croix Falls, disappeared unexpectedly, leaving few clues as to her whereabouts. According to the Polk County Sheriff's Office, on that evening, Bly reportedly told her husband, Christopher Larson, that she was going to meet a cousin at a tavern in nearby Cushing, which is about 5 miles from their home. She never arrived. She was never seen again. Her cousin said Bly had not made plans to meet up with her, and she never saw her that night. So that's interesting. So the cousin says, no, we didn't have plans to meet up. She never saw her that night. So interesting. The following Wednesday, Rosemarie's car, the white 2001 Pontiac Grand Prix, was found in Grantsburg municipal parking lot, and no one reportedly saw how the car got there. For Bly's mother, Candace Harrer, and the rest of her family, the weeks and months following Rosemarie's disappearance have been horrific. According to Rose Meyer, who is a family friend. She says it has been very, very tough. Having support from friends and family has helped some, but each day has been a challenge for Harrer. Harrer is, quote, sometimes good, sometimes not so good. She said in a brief interview, my other daughter, Jeannie, comes by regularly, and that helps. Since that day, neither Rosemarie's family nor the Sheriff's Department has given up the hope of finding out where she went and what happened to her. Her mom says, we haven't heard or seen anything. They're still working on it. We know of no promising leads. Polk County Sheriff Tim Moore said the investigation into Rosemarie's disappearance has been extensive yet inconclusive. After a year of work, multiple subpoenas, digging into phone records, computer files, and countless interviews, there's been no trace of anything. Moore said the Sheriff's Department even shipped the entire case file to FBI headquarters in Quantico, Virginia, where top missing person analysts retraced the department's investigative steps. Moore said he was looking to put a fresh set of eyes on the case. That's always a good thing. The FBI agents conducted a conference call with the sheriff and his investigators and were complimentary of the effort the department put into the case. So maybe we actually have a case where the LE did what they were supposed to do. Still, they were unable to uncover anything new or offer any solid advice. Moore said they had no strong suggestions on anything. It reaffirms what I think I know. Even so, Meyer has been critical of the Sheriff's Department's investigation. She suspects that Rosemarie's husband was somehow involved based on the fact that the couple had squabbled and had their share of disagreements. Meyer, who I believe is her mother, says, if I had to pick a prime suspect, definitely it was Larson, her husband. Although he did pass a polygraph test, but we all know polygraph tests aren't reliable. And he is not, as far as law enforcement is concerned, he is not considered a person of interest. Larson has since legally divorced Bly and obtained custody of the couple's 2 children. He was unable, the son was unable to reach him for a comment. Though the sheriff acknowledges such tests are far from perfect, Larson passed a polygraph test and has been ruled out as a suspect. Moore says he has seemed to be upfront during the investigation. We've not accused him of anything, and we think he is being honest with us. Meyer and others have tried to keep Bly's name out there by distributing thousands of missing persons flyers at gas stations and other businesses along Highway 8 and, quote, all stops along the way. Family members and friends organized a fundraiser to possibly hire a private investigator and put up a $1,500 reward for information. The group also encouraged deer hunters to be on the lookout for anything suspicious and has encouraged large landowners to walk their property lines. It has been both a blessing and a curse that rumors have swirled often since Rosemarie's disappearance. In each instance, the rumors have been found to be blatantly false, if not exaggerated. That's always the frustrating thing when you have these rumors and just what they say, outright lies about what supposedly happened. One rumor was that Rosemarie ran off with another man. That has recurred often. That Rosemarie would have run off, leaving behind her children, her beloved dog, clothing, laptop, and her money is completely ridiculous, according to her mother. Her mother says her kids were her world, and so was that dog. If you're planning on running away with a boyfriend, you're going to take something. Meyer attributes the rumors to people speculating about the case and others overhearing the speculation and passing it along. We see this so much speculation. The more things are said, they become, quote, truth, according to some people. Meyer says it's the old telephone game. Each rumor has been harmful in its own way. Meyer has called the sheriff's department with each one and has had to touch base with Hare. So Hare is the mother, about them. Meyer says it's heartbreak all over again. Moore met with Hare last Friday, as he does every so often. His message to her was essentially the same as since the disappearance. Nobody knows anything. This will obviously be a very tough week for her, Moore said. Hare still hopes and prays for her safe return. She says, we appreciate their prayers and ask them to not forget Rose and to keep praying for her safe return. Moore said he still believes that someone out there may have information as to Rose's whereabouts, information that could help the sheriff's department find her. If you see something, say something. If you know something, say something. Moore says someone had to have seen her or met up with her at some point. So once again, anyone with information as to Rose's whereabouts is asked to call the Polk County Sheriff's Office at 715-483-8300. And it says speak with investigators Lisa Dillifson or Pete Johnson. This article is from 2010, so it could be different investigators, but it's the same phone number. So just, I obviously feel so bad for this family. For the children. So I still, I don't know. I'm going back and forth with the husband. He passed a polygraph. Once again, polygraphs aren't reliable. Ellie seems to think that he is being honest and cooperating. But they did have the instance of DV. Not just because, as horrible as DV is, just because you were involved with the DV situation doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna, do something worse, but you always got to keep it in the back of your mind. So let me see what you guys have to say. Get back down to where I was. I hope I remember to mark my place. Bunches, I think I'm seeing new names. I think bunches of people have popped in. Ooh, lots of comments. Holy moly. Hold on. There we go. I got back down to where I was at. Stop my cam for a minute. Give me a drink. All right. Going back to Sandra's case, Sunday says, do they have a crematorium? That is a good question. That is a question. Good question. Talking about the cemetery, because Sandra was the one, the cemetery. That would be interesting to know. So Lisa Joe said that's going to be a large cemetery. So I'm assuming you're familiar with Olivet. Was it the Olivet Cemetery? So she could, I mean, if she's in that cemetery, she could literally be anywhere in there. Possibly in somebody else's grave with whoever's in that grave. Oh goodness. Okay, so Doodle says Amanda Jones went missing from Hillsboro, Missouri. Oh, and she was 9 months pregnant. Oh, see, Arctic knew, going back to Rosemary, that Summer Wells' aunt. See, I didn't know that until I was reading this information and got down to that. I'm like, well, hell, that's ironic. Oh goodness, that's horrible. Miss Peggy says a girl was assaulted and passed away in the cemetery where my dad was a caretaker. I was really young and don't remember her name and don't know if it was solved. Oh, that is horrible. And that was in Wisconsin, right? Because you're in Wisconsin. Yep, it's Rose's case is very interesting. Very interesting. Very perplexing. Yep, absolutely. Chris said, the case, or what Miss Peggy was talking about, Chris said, I hope the crook or crooks are caught. Absolutely. Yes, she is very, very pretty. Oh, I said it. I said something correct. I said something correctly. Yay. So proud of myself. Sometimes I butcher some of these names. Okay, so Arctic says that a crematorium was added in 1989 to the Mount Olivet Cemetery. So that was Sandra's case. So her case was in 88. But still, you never know. Yeah, Lisa said that Peggy, that sounds familiar. She may have been a Jane Doe for many years. That is true. Yeah, Chris says Miss Lisa should be an English teacher. Yes. I'm always asking if I'm pronouncing things right. Sunday says, was she actually meeting a friend at a bar? Yes, I believe so. Let me go back and just to make sure. Let me get to the right case. Let's see. She was going to meet her cousin at the bar. Said Bly was last seen in St. Croix Falls. She left her home to travel 4 or 5 miles to Cushing, Wisconsin to meet a cousin at a bar. But see, then the cousin said, I believe, that they did not have plans to meet at the bar, and she didn't, or he or she, the cousin, didn't actually ever meet her at the bar. So I don't know if that was just a story that Rose, for some reason, said she was going to meet her cousin at the bar and she went somewhere else. That is a good question. Yep, that's a good point. Farr says, filed for divorce after 3 weeks. Did he even look for her at least for a week? That's a good question. Hey, give us your theory. Artist says, I have a theory, but it's pretty out there. We can go out there. It's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with some good healthy speculation. Yes, absolutely. That was a good question. Yeah, Miss Doodle says if she wandered away, would think they would have found her by now. Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, because I said she had a head injury, right? Um, yeah, she fell off the horse a week before. Her mother, she told her mother she was having headaches after the accident. Her mother said to go, told her to go see a doctor. No evidence that she did. So the mother speculated that she may have become disoriented and wandered away. But yeah, I agree that surely, unless she just, I mean, I don't know what kind of terrain it was. And did it say, hold on, I'm getting my cases mixed up. So her car, I also wonder because her car was found in a parking lot that is normally used by semi-truck drivers to park the tractor trailers. So I would also take that into consideration. Nothing against truck drivers, but you know, just something to think about. Hey JP, welcome my friend. Good to see you here, sir, again. Always good to see JP here. Please do check out his music and his true crime channel. Yeah, Forrest says, I just find it strange to get a divorce. Yeah, 3 weeks. Not my business. But we can wonder if he didn't look for his kid's mom, though. It makes me think. Yeah, see, I have a little bit of a concern about that. Miss Kimber said she read about this when Summer went missing. Yep, thought it was strange 2 family members from the same family disappear. Absolutely. There's Jocelyn. Hey, Jocelyn, good to see you, my dear. Are you working or you got the night off? Either way, I hope you're doing well. Sorry, I keep stopping my cam, but I got my vape going here. Okay, so here is Arctic's thoughts. He says, in his opinion, it's possible that both Rosemarie and Summer were hidden by Candace Haar due to the abuse they were receiving. Rose at the hands of her husband, Summer at the hands of her dad. That's an interesting theory. I know obviously of Summer's case. I have not deep dive, know every factor, everything that went on with that, but definitely something to think about. Miss Peggy think, yep, it's interesting theory. Dave is listening and driving. Dave, you be careful out there listening and driving, checking on the owls. Hey, Kel, good to have you here. Always good to see Kel. I see her in Dago's, the Meatballs in the morning show, along with Doodle and Arctic and Mama Bear and whoever else shows up. Mom, that's my guy. I've said before. It's when I'm working. If it's slow when I'm sitting in the car, that's my go-to to watch on my phone while I'm waiting for orders to come in. Always good stuff. So good to have you here, Miss Kel. Miss Kimber says her husband always seemed a bit sus to me from what I read. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Miss Farr has done it again. I gifted 5 more Southern Gal True Crime memberships. Thank you so much. So we are putting another cow in the pasture. Thank you, Miss Farr. You're an angel. You're an angel. You're blowing me away. Y'all gonna make me get all teary-eyed. Oh. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Check out Arctic and all these other wonderful creators that come into. I appreciate everyone who comes in, the community, the other creators who come in and support me. It's just, it blows me away. It blows me away every time. I love all you guys. Yep, David said, hello all. He may not be able to, since he's listening and driving, may not be able to say hello to each individual person. Yep, that's just, I read Dave's mind. That's kind of scary. Kind of scary. I'm joking, Dave. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Doodle. There is Dave's channel. There is the Wonderful Mom's channel. Wonderful Doodle. Wonderful everybody. Just make sure I'm caught up and I hadn't, did I forget did I miss somebody? Hold on. I was kind of going a little bit fast. Somebody said hi to somebody that I haven't seen. If I missed, no, maybe, hopefully I didn't miss. Okay, hopefully I didn't miss anybody. If I missed saying hi to anybody who popped in, I'm sorry. Get back down to where I was. All right, let me see. Getting caught up. We'll move on to the next one. That's a good question. Sunday says, wonder if there was footage at the place her car was found. That is a good question. See, it just said it was a parking lot. I don't know if it was like a truck stop. It just says it was a parking lot near a post office. So the post office could possibly have had cameras. But then again, this was back in what, it was 2009. So yeah, there could have been a camera. There's a parking lot near a post office where semi truck drivers park their tractor trailers. So that is a good question. Did I miss Dandy? How am I missing people? What is going on? Somebody said hi to Dandy. I don't see Dandy's comment. Something is afoot at the Circle K. I'm just going back down through here to make sure I'm not missing. I don't understand. One second, guys. I just want to make sure. It'll only let me go down so far. I don't see Dandy. Is Dandy here and I just can't find her? Now I feel bad. Maybe I should switch glasses. Maybe I can't see. So we got Sunday Doodles, Lisa, Chris, Far, Arctic, Peggy, John, JP, Kimber, Jocelyn, Junior, Al, Kel, Peggy, came down to Sunday. I don't see Dandy. I could have swore somebody said hi to Dandy. If Dandy's here, hi Dandy. Uh, Lisa said, here's over 33,000 graves. Is that the Mount Olivet? Wow, that is a big cemetery. Oh, excellent. Mom says she's still here. Vladik Hassel, Vladik Sisters live on TikTok, so I'm in both. Absolutely. So there's over 33,000 graves in the Mount Olivet. Wow. And Miss Lisa Joe said there are like 10 people that passed away within a week of her disappearance. And this is going back to Sandra. Excuse me. Lance is back. Welcome back, Lance. Don't worry, Arctic. You take care of you. You take care of you. Lance says, what about her car? They found the car. Now, what they did with it after they found it, I don't think it said. It just says they found it 5 days after she disappeared. There was no evidence of foul play. It was undamaged, but the keys were missing. I'm hoping law enforcement took control of it, but you never know. I'm assuming either law enforcement has it or they returned it to the family. But hopefully they processed it. If they didn't keep it, hopefully they processed it before they gave it back to the family. Thank you, Junior. He may already be gone. I don't know how far I'm behind. Thank you, Junior, for being here. Always a pleasure to have Junior here. One of the OGs. Yes, definitely red flaggy. Absolutely, Miss Paula. Yeah, that's true. Lisa said, in cases this old, speculation is all we have for many. Yeah. See, and I don't like to speculate, but I mean, reasonable, to me, there's a difference. You can have reasonable speculation and you can have way out there off the rails speculation, you know. But you're right, with cases like this old, as old as these. Oh, you're not the only one, Miss Paula. Miss Paula says her theories on the West Memphis 3 case are out in space. Probably not as out there as some that I've heard. And I think there's another channel that just did. They had done 1 or 2 videos or live streams of their videos about West Memphis 3, but they're going back and redoing them. West Memphis 3 for Dummies. Some of you, I'm not going to mention the channel, but I watched part of the part 1 and fell asleep. So, but you're free to go over and watch them if you would like. Like I said, West Memphis 3 is one I'm on the fence. I have my opinions, but you know, obviously we don't know for sure. But there are no shortage of opinions in West Memphis 3. Thank you, Miss Doodle. There's JP's. Lance says speculate or a circumstance for the divorce. I think it was DV related. It says relationship was troubled. Police were called to the home at least once to intervene in a DV incident. They both accused each other of slapping, hitting. It said he had previously filed for divorce in 2009, but he withdrew the filing after they reconciled. And then she disappeared. So I'm going just to assume irreconcilable differences, DV. That would be my assumption. Yes, JP also does have Analyze This, his true crime channel. Nope. Jocelyn, the resident nurse, has a fun fact about the eye. They are the fastest healing organ in the body. So there's a little, she says, a little bit of comfort for Arctic. Oh, and Jocelyn is off tonight. Yay, you get a day off. Paula said, is the husband a suspect? Well, technically, as far as law enforcement is concerned, no, he is not a suspect. He supposedly passed the polygraph. Her husband passed a polygraph. He is not considered a suspect in her disappearance. According to law enforcement, they believe he's telling the truth. He has been forthcoming, and they do not consider him a suspect. So take that how you will. I still have questions. Going back to Summer, Artist says, but I honestly think someone else entirely is responsible for Summer's disappearance. Thank you, JP. Yes, always good vibes here. JP says he is here for the good vibes. Absolutely. We keep it good vibey and chilly around here. Or chilly. Chill and chilly. Turn my camera off for a minute. Yeah, that is true. Lance says that's the biggest problem with these cases is not knowing all the circumstances in the weeks leading up. I know police keep this type of information private, but as far as speculation on the case, absolutely. On the case, it makes it very difficult. Absolutely. Oh, Mom says no tears. I am weak. I'll be in tears. All right, no tears. Yes, cold cases are very hard to cover because in a lot, like everybody's been saying, in a lot, there's not a lot of information. And I know that I rely a lot on the Charlie Project as far as the basic information. That's why I always look for articles with interviews with family members, law enforcement updates, because Charlie Project can be kind of sketchy, but sometimes that's all there is. But nothing, or that's better than nothing. So we go with what we got. Yeah, I would too. Lance says, I would like to know deeper details about this case. Google it. Well, I know in Canada, they won't let you guys have a lot of access to stuff. Now, I did remember this week to put all the articles I use for the supplemental information are in the description box, so you can read from them. You can Google it, and maybe it'll let something come up for you there in Canada. What did she do for work? That is a good question. I don't know if it said. It does not say what she did. Let me go to the article and see if it said. I'm looking. I'm not seeing where it says what she did. But I just have this one article here that I'd saved. It doesn't say, unfortunately. Let me go through sometimes at the end of the Charlie Project, it does tell, but it does not tell what she did for work, unfortunately. That's also another good question. Was she on her own after the fight leading up to the divorce? Uh, let's see. Once again, does not say. Doesn't say, unfortunately. Hey, Miss Paula. Yeah, Arctic says, if it was just an empty lot, likely no cameras. Yeah, probably the best hope would be, and it doesn't say how far, because it said it was close to a post office, but did the post office have a camera, and was it close enough to be able to see the an empty lot? So, uh-oh, Doodle's stuck in top chat. I hate that. Will it not let you go in and change it? And I think it is a mod thing. I think somebody said one time. Oh, okay. So did Dandy get a gifted membership? Is that why her name came up? Okay, I thought I was missing. Well, if Dandy got a membership, excellent. Okay. Yep. Jocelyn said Dandy was gifted a membership. Oh, so it's Arctic's fault. He made me think I was going crazy. So hey, I do enough of making myself think I'm crazy. I don't need any help. Oh, it's all right. Yep. Put a patch over the eye. We can call you Pirate. You can be Pirate Fox True Crime. Uh, okay, so Miss Farr says JC Ann, Kel, Jocelyn, Dandy, and Didi has got memberships. Excellent. So I know Kel is here, Jocelyn's here, JC Ann pops in every once in a while. Dandy, she's probably busy tonight. She's usually here, and Ideas. So congratulations. Congratulations, ladies, for getting memberships. And thank you once again, Miss Farr, for gifting. I don't know. I don't think I muted him. If I muted anybody, it was on accident. So going back to, was it Sandra? Peggy says Mount Olivet is a huge cemetery. The one I lived at was pretty small at the time, but much bigger now. Yeah, I think, who is it? Lisa Joe said there was 33,000 graves at Mount Olivet. There's Michelle C. Hey, Michelle C. Good to see you. Always good to see my Michelle C. Yes, we're having a wonderful night. I hope everybody's having a wonderful night. Staying warm, trying to stay warm, and feel better. Oh, JP's got dish duty. Yep. Thank you, JP. Thank you for being here. Yep. Michelle says she's listening and lurking. We love our lurkers. Yep. Arctic wants you to come over and do his dishes. Yeah, that's true. Arctic said, well, Chris Watts passed a polygraph too, so there's that. Yeah, see, I don't, polygraphs are not reliable. Yes, see, that's what I'm talking about. Lance says, I would be more suspicious of the fact the car was found near a truck stop. Me too. That's what I wondered about. Like I said, absolutely nothing against truckers. But you got to wonder. You got to wonder. Oh, okay. I got you. Lance says, which is why I asked what she did for work. Gotcha. Thank you, Arctic. There is JP's true crime channel. Yeah, I know. I hate that for y'all. Atlanta says Canada has made true crime almost impossible. I hate that. Oop, everything just jumped on me. I'm get caught. I think I'm just about caught up, and we'll get to the next one. Yeah, Miss Peggy says if Arctic is going to be a pirate, he needs a parrot on his shoulder too. He can throw Sylvester or Smokey up on his shoulder. They can be his parrot cats. Yeah, he said my cats would think a parrot was dinner. All right, guys, I think I'm caught up, so we will get moving. Okay, so we did Sandra, we did Rosemarie, so now we're on Robert Louis Christian. I'll stop my camera a little bit while I'm reading. I should have already had his information up. So Robert went missing on September 16th, 1977. So this may be one of the oldest or one of the older cases I have tonight. From Madison, Wisconsin. He's a white male. He was just 18 years old at the time he went missing. He would be 65 years old as of 2025. At the time he went missing, he was 5'10" and 210 pounds with brown hair. Doesn't say what color eyes he has. He does wear wire frame glasses with thick lenses. Says he did have a mustache, although the only picture on Charlie Project, he does not have a mustache. And his nickname is Bob. So Robert went missing during a trip from Madison, Wisconsin to Baraboo, Wisconsin on September 16th, 1977. He had dinner with his parents, and he then left their home at around 5:30 p.m., driving his AMC Hornet station wagon. He had his bow, hunting gear, and a change of clothes with him. It says he withdrew $25 from his bank account at the bank after he left his parents' residence. He then bought a pack of cigars at a local Walgreens store, and he planned to meet a friend the next morning to go deer hunting at Baraboo Bluffs. At 9:30 p.m., Christian's friend's mother called his parents to say that Christian had not arrived in Baraboo. His parents called the police in 3 counties to find out if he had been in a car accident. They then called the Madison Police Department. But Arctic, get ready. Because Christian was an adult, the police initially refused to take a missing persons report and suggested he had possibly gone to a party and not told anyone. It just makes my blood boil. After more time passed without anyone hearing from Christian, the police did eventually take a report and began looking for him. It doesn't say how long. It just says after more time had passed. After Christian's disappearance was reported, a witness came forward and said she had seen his car at a retreat in Durward's Glen. She remembered the license plate number of the vehicle and said the driver did match Christian's description. The driver told the witness he was looking for his friend, then said he must be looking in the wrong place, and then he drove away to the east. So that's kind of weird. Christian's father and brother found the Hornet was parked in a driveway near the State Patrol relay antenna on Tower Road, southeast of the city, the day after Christian disappeared. So its wheels, tires, and battery were gone. So it basically been stripped. Tracker dogs followed Christian's scent for a short distance from where his car was found, but they lost the trail on Tower Road. It says that he is very familiar with the vicinity where his vehicle was found. Apparently, he'd gone hunting, fishing, and camping in that general area many times before. Acting on a tip, the police found the Hornet's hubcaps and 4 old tires in a quarry south of the Badger Army Ammunition Plant and north of Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin. So apparently someone had switched the new tires from the Hornet with the old tires on their vehicle, then dumped the old tires in the hubcaps. This individual has never been identified, and it's unclear whether the stripping of Christian's car is related to his disappearance. Christian has never been heard from again, and an extensive search of the area turned up no sign of him. He was a freshman at the University of Wisconsin at Madison at the time of his disappearance. He planned to become a computer programmer. He is described as a reliable, honest individual, and it is uncharacteristic of him to leave without warning. His parents stated that he was not having any problems at the time of his disappearance. He had no known enemies. He was not involved with any illegal substances. And they say he was excited about his college studies. His case remains unsolved. So if you have any information regarding Robert's disappearance, you can call the Sauk County Sheriff's Department at 608-356-4808 or 800-377-1195. So that is very strange about the... So it could have been with the car being stripped. It could have been just somebody came along after he disappeared and saw the car and said, hey, you know. So it might not have anything to do with his disappearance, like they said. Let me find the article. Right, so this article is from wearegreenbay.com. Is from January of this year, so recent. Authorities in Wisconsin re-examine cold case of Robert Christian's 1977 disappearance. Authorities in central... Let me get rid of some ads. Authorities in central Wisconsin are revisiting the unsolved case of Robert Christian, who disappeared on September 16, 1977. Christian, Madison resident, had planned to meet a friend for bow hunting near Baraboo. When he failed to arrive, his family began searching near his usual hunting grounds in the township of Greenfield, along Tower Road between Bluff Road and the Sauk-Columbia County line. Ads. Later, Christian's 1977 AMC Hornet was discovered abandoned at a radio tower site. The car's wheels and battery were missing. The vehicle was unlocked. Most of his personal belongings and hunting gear were gone. So either he took them with him, if he just decided to get out of the car and walk for some reason, if something happened to the car, if it broke down, or whoever stripped it could have taken them, because hunting gear, you could probably get some good money, especially for a hunting bow. A comprehensive search, including ground teams, bloodhounds, and an aerial unit from the Army National Guard, yielded no trace of Robert. About a week later, investigators followed a tip to a quarry near the Badger Army ammunition plant. That's where they found the 4 tires and hubcaps from the Hornet, though it remains unclear if these were linked to his disappearance or were taken after his car was abandoned. A witness later reported seeing a car matching Christian's AMC Hornet at about 8 p.m. on the night of his disappearance near the Durward's Glen Retreat Center. Sorry, more ads. The driver, a young man resembling Christian, told the witness he was looking for a friend and then drove away. His identity was never confirmed. The Sauk County Sheriff's Office continues to seek information that could shed light on this decades-old mystery. So once again, anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Sauk County Sheriff's Office at 608-355-3210. So I wonder if it was him, because it said the driver was a young man resembling Christian. He told this witness that he was looking for a friend. He was supposed to be meeting a friend to go hunting with. So it's possible it was him. But now, where did he go after that? Why did he abandon the car if he did? That would be my number one question. All right, let me get back down to where I was. Sunday said, talking about RJ said he could put an eye patch on the cats and have a crew. Yeah, he can have a whole crew of pirate kitties. Are you talking about Robert? RJ says he looks familiar for some reason. Yeah, imagine that. Are you talking about the disappear or not taking the report? Because he's an adult, he can do what he wants. Arctic says definitely foul play. Were any of his belongings left behind? No, I think everything was the hunting gear was gone. I'm trying to go back and find it. I know the hunting gear was gone. Let me go back to the Charlie Project information. That's easier to find the right one. There it is. So we know the wheels, tires, and the battery were gone. The hunting gear was gone. Now, I don't know. It didn't say anything about any other personal belongings being gone. But the hunting gear was gone. I know I remember it said that. That is a good question. The bow, yeah, Lance, the bow was gone. All the hunting gear was gone. Miss Peggy says, Shira, you remember hearing about this one? That is a good question. Artie says, I wonder if the police even bothered to process the station wagon. My guess, I hate to be negative, my guess will be no, but oh, I hope I didn't miss Lance. Thank you, Lance, for being here. Have a good night, sir. I may have missed him. I don't know how far I'm behind. Oh, I'm only 5 minutes behind. Thank you, Lance, for being here. Miss Peggy says Greenfield is where the cemetery I lived in for 4 years is, or 5 years. Yes, absolutely. Sunday Doodle says picking up hitchhikers was a thing back then. Absolutely, it was. Miss Doodle says, Yeah, Arctic says maybe he met with someone to go hunting. Yeah, I think he was supposed to be meeting with friends to go hunting. And there was a hunting accident, but unlikely because his remains should have been found if that was the case. Should have been found, but once again speculating, but if there was a hunting accident and the friends panicked and thinking they were going to get in trouble, I mean, I've heard cases like this before. They hid the body just so they wouldn't, thinking they might get in trouble, even though it was an accident. So it's possible. Yep, Doodle says, so could he have went hunting and maybe an accident occurred? Absolutely. Yep, a lot of y'all are thinking that. Yep, and I didn't even think about that till y'all brought that up. Yeah, Doodle says, unless he was on private land, makes me wonder if this that possibility. Yeah, could have been on private land and the landowner didn't like it. That is a good. Yeah, I still don't understand. Well, Miss Peggy says, but if it was a hunting accident, why was his vehicle messed up? Most likely the vehicle was stripped after whatever happened to him happened. Somebody came by and said, ooh, there's a car. I can get the the hunting gear out of it and get some money. I can get some money off the battery. It got me some new tires and whatever else was missing off of it. So in my opinion, that's most likely what it was, is it was stripped after it had been sitting there after he disappeared. All right, I am caught up. So we will go to the next one. Sara Ann Bushland. Oh, let me get her information up. Okay. So Sara Ann Bushland went missing on April 3rd, 1996 from Spooner, Wisconsin. She was just 15 years old. She would be 44 years old today, as of 2025. At the time she went missing, she was 5 foot tall, 104 pounds. She had blonde hair, and it says blue, gray, green eyes. She has moles on the left side of her neck and on the right side of her upper lip. Her nickname is Bug. She wore wire-framed glasses, and some agencies spell her name with an H. She was last seen wearing a Tweety Bird shirt, a blue jacket, blue jeans, black Reebok sneakers, and 4 sterling silver rings on her right hand, including a Spooner high school class ring with a black stone. So Sara was last seen after exiting her school bus. Okay. At the end of the driveway of her family's residence at around 4 p.m. on April 3rd, 1996. She was at the foot of her driveway about 100 yards from her house. One of Sara's stepbrothers was home at the time, but her mother and stepfather were gone. They were not there. There was a dark-colored pickup truck driving behind the bus, and when Sara got off the school bus, when she got off the school bus, the truck pulled up next to her. Some of the other kids on the bus thought the vehicle belonged to Sara's 21-year-old boyfriend. So she was 15, and apparently she had a 21-year-old boyfriend. From Sara's body languages, the witnesses realized that she apparently knew the person driving the truck. Some of them saw her speaking to the driver, while others claimed that she actually got into the truck. The truck backed out of the driveway and started off in the direction of the nearby town of Trago. At 4:37 p.m., Sara's stepbrother called his father and said that Sara still wasn't home yet, but nobody was concerned at the time because they thought that she was at a friend's house. She disappeared on the last day of school before spring break, and this was the first day that she was not grounded. So apparently she had been grounded for several weeks, and she had not been allowed to leave the house except to go to school and do school-related activities. When Sara still wasn't home by around 6:30 p.m., her mother went back home and started calling her friends. None of her friends had seen her since they left school. By 8 p.m., her mother was driving around the local area looking for her. Sara's never been seen again. Both authorities and her mother and stepfather initially thought that she had run away, but now they are unsure what caused her disappearance. She didn't take any clothing or money with her. She had no history of running away from home, and her father and older sister never believed that she ran away. Sara's parents divorced when she was a toddler, and her parents had joint custody of her and her older sister during their early childhoods. Both girls went with their father when he moved to Colorado in 1990. In 1994, after Sara was caught shoplifting and she was grounded by her father, she decided to move back to Wisconsin to live with her mother, her stepfather, and 2 older stepbrothers. She then became friends with a new group of people older than herself after she moved to Wisconsin, and this is when she began dating this 21-year-old man. Obviously, her parents were unhappy about this, and they told her that she was not allowed to date until she was older, but Sarah continued to see this man anyway. Sarah and her boyfriend did have lunch together on the day of her disappearance, and he drove her back to school for her afternoon classes. He said this was the last time that he saw her. Sarah's family believes that she was harmed by someone she knew, as they don't think that she would have gotten into a stranger's vehicle. They say it is worth noting that there was some tension and allegations of SA between Sarah and her stepbrothers around the time of her disappearance. And Sarah was thinking of moving back in with her father and her sister. It says there is speculation that Crystal Sawyer's death may be connected to Sarah's disappearance. Sawyer, who was 18 years old, disappeared from Cable, Wisconsin in October of 1996. 5 months later, her body was found in Rock County, Wisconsin, but it was not identified until 2002. Her homicide remains unsolved. It says that Sawyer and Sarah, they were both blonde young women. They were in the same age group. It says they did know each other, and they also had at least 19 mutual friends, all of them young men in their 20s. Both Sawyer and Sarah attended parties held by these men, and Sarah's school friends were unaware of this. None of the men have been named as suspects in Sarah's disappearance or Sawyer's murder, which is also unsolved. Sarah was a sophomore at Spooner High School in 1996. Investigators believe, unfortunately, that she's probably no longer alive, but they have not named any suspects in her case. And unfortunately, both her mother and her stepfather passed away in 2017. So that, lots of information, but these older men, this group of older men, because she was dating a 21-year-old, she was 15, and then they have this information that both she and this other young lady who was a victim of a homicide, they knew each other, had mutual friends, all young men in their 20s. So that's never a good combination, in my opinion. We have 15-year-old girls hanging out with men in their 20s. But if you have any information, you can call the Washburn County Sheriff's Office at 715-468-4700. And get her article up. Get a drink. All right, so this article is from NBC News, and it is from April of 2019. So it says, Sara Bushland was a social butterfly, according to her sister, Leslie Small. Leslie says she could fit into any group. She could bounce around from one clique to another, and she always fit right in. Just 18 months apart in age, sisters Sara and Leslie were also close friends as they grew up in Colorado with their father. They got into trouble together too, according to Leslie. In December of 1994, Sara got caught shoplifting, and rather than face her father's disappointment, 13-year-old Sara fled to her mother, Marie Lambert's house in Spooner, Wisconsin. Sara moved into the house with her mother, her stepfather, Jim, and his sons, Dean and David. According to Leslie, things did not get any easier for her younger sister. Leslie said the Lambert home was not always happy, but Sara did develop a group of friends and started dating Travis Lane, a local man who was 5 years older than she was. And through the ups and downs, Leslie said she and Sara always stayed in touch. Leslie says she always took care of everybody and didn't bring much attention to herself. She was very good at hiding her feelings. But on April 3rd, 1996, Sara's life changed course. The day began like any other Wednesday for the high school sophomore. According to Leslie, early that morning, one of Sarah's stepbrothers gave her a ride to a friend's house in Spooner. Sarah and her friend then walked to Spooner High School in time for the morning bell. Around noon, Sarah's boyfriend Travis picked her up from school, and the pair spent Sarah's lunch break together. Sarah then returned to school, and at the end of the day, she boarded her bus and headed home. Around 4 p.m., 4 students saw Sarah get off the bus at her usual stop. According to Washburn County Sheriff Dennis Stewart, witnesses said Sarah then started walking up her family's long driveway. According to law enforcement and Sarah's family, she never made it to the house. Somewhere along the gravel driveway, Sarah disappeared. According to phone records, at 4:37 p.m. that day, Sarah's stepbrother David called his father to tell him that Sarah had not come home from school. Both Sarah's mother and stepfather were out of town that day and had not been planning on coming home until the following day. But when Sarah's mother, Marie, learned that Sarah had not returned from school, she hopped in her car and headed to Spooner. After a night of phone calls to Sarah's friends and a visit to her boyfriend Travis's apartment nearby, Marie reported her daughter missing on April 4th, but in the days and weeks that followed Sarah's disappearance, Marie's initial urgency waned. Leslie, who was 17 at the time, says, "My mom would basically tell me that I didn't need to worry. This wasn't a big event, and I've since been told that she was reported without a sense of urgency." Wow. I don't understand it. No matter how your child disappeared, it should always be urgent. But at 17 years old, I just listened. Leslie said that despite her mother reporting Sarah missing, investigators initially did not search for the teenager. The Washburn County Sheriff's Department treated Sarah's disappearance as a runaway case, once again. According to Sheriff Stewart, law enforcement conducted the first of several searches at the Lambert property in July of 1999, more than 3 years after Sarah disappeared. He said investigators also combed through a trash dump on the property in 1999 and dragged nearby Spring Lake in August of 2000, but they found nothing of significance. Sheriff Stewart, who assumed his position in early 2019, said that he can't explain why investigators lagged in their search for Sarah. The original investigators have since retired. In May of 2013, a group of more than 70 officials made up of Washburn County officers and Wisconsin's Division of Criminal Investigation searched the Lambert property once again. Again, they found nothing. Sarah's stepfather, Jim, passed away in June of 2017. And just 1 week later, investigators executed a search warrant on the Lambert's property for a 4th time. Again, nothing of significance was found. So apparently, they were thinking something happened to her at the property and that she didn't run away or go away with her boyfriend. So that's very interesting. Sarah's sister Leslie says the case has changed hands so many times, and each new detective assumes that the last group took care of it and looked into all the evidence. It's awful. At 17 years old, I believe law enforcement was doing everything it was supposed to be doing. It affects me every single day. Sheriff Stewart says investigators won't give up on the fight to find Sarah. Sheriff Stewart says the Sara Bushland case is still an ongoing investigation. We constantly get leads and we're doing follow-up with it. The case has never been closed. He would not describe the nature of the leads that his office has received. Leslie's only aim is to bring her sister home. She says, I will never give up hope that she is still out there. There's no evidence to say otherwise. I wouldn't look poorly on her had she left. I won't give up. I'll continue to help find answers for Sarah. Once again, at the time of her disappearance, Sarah was 5 foot, 104 pounds, blonde hair, a mole above her upper lip. If you have any information on Sarah's case, please contact the Washburn County Sheriff's Office at 715-468-4700. So what do you guys think about, they did what, at least 4 searches of the property between, let me go back, of the property where she lived, between, when was the first one? Trying to go back in the article. So one was in 2014, but there was one before that. So they searched it 4 times. 2017, I believe, was the last time it was searched. So that is very, very interesting to me. What do you guys think? Get back to your back down to where I was at. Hold on one second. Sorry, had to blow my nose, and then I almost took myself out of the studio. Oh, okay. Oh, Miss Peggy says the wind is kicking. Hold on, Miss Peggy. Yeah, Doodle says I would hope the officers question the friends. Yeah, you would hope. But once again, you never know. Exactly. Artist says, what the F is a 15-year-old doing with a 21-year-old? Where the hell were the parents? Because you can trust and believe if I was with a 21-year-old at 15, the cemetery would have sold a plot. That's what I'm saying. And especially since not only did she have a 21-year-old boyfriend, but apparently she and some others were hanging out with a group of men in their 20s. No. Yep, Doodle says amen. Yep, I agree. Paula says typical teenager defying her parents. Absolutely, but still, that's 50. In my opinion, 15-year-olds do not need to be hanging out with 21-year-olds unless they are a family member. Plain and simple. Yes, always. Yes. Artist says, well, that's ominous about the stepbrother for sure. And that makes me wonder if that's maybe why, because they had these allegations of SA. That makes me wonder if maybe that's why they searched the property at least 4 times. So Artist got his bingo card. He says, no sense of urgency. Ellie didn't search. Classified as a runaway. Damn, almost filled my bingo card. I'm telling you. Yep. Sunday says you can't close a case that was never really open. Absolutely. Yep. I agree. Doodle says, I will never understand the laws with statutory or even if the parents approve, that is not right. I wholeheartedly agree. In her opinion, but I agree. Yep. Arctic says, just because the parents are shady and enable it doesn't make it any less a crime. True. Yeah. Doodle says exactly. If nothing else, charge the parents too if they are okay with it. I know. See, I never understood that. Why can't they charge the parents? I mean, the child is still underage. I mean, that to me, that's facilitating child abuse. I mean, absolutely. Doodle says that 15-year-old doesn't know what she wants. I was 16 and got married. I was so dumb. Yeah. Most 15-year-olds don't even know what they want to eat for, lunch. Oh, drives me nuts. And some 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds don't have a lot more, don't have a lot more sense or know what they want, to be honest, because isn't it, the brain isn't fully developed until you're in your mid-20s or something of that nature. Yeah. At least just, I don't know what I want. I know I'm 53 years old. Most of the time, I don't know what I want. Uh, Miss Paula says, tell that to Taylor Swift. Yeah, so this one just bugs. They all bug me, but this one just really, really makes me mad at the parents, at the law enforcement who did, she's hanging around with these 20-year-old men, has a 21-year-old boyfriend. No. Okay, moving on. We have Laura Jean, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name right. Depies. I like that. Mom says, I want coffee and a blanket. Other than that is a toss-up. Yes. I pass on the coffee. I don't do coffee, but definitely I need a blanket right now because my legs and my feet are freezing. Even though I have my warm fuzzy socks and my slippers on, my feet are still cold. Yes, Arctic says, going back to Sarah, Jen Soto vibes from these parents that let their kids date adults. Right. Absolutely. All right. So I got that marked. All right. So we have Laura Jean Depies. Once again, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that right. I think we got this one and one more. Okay, let me get her information. Sorry, I'm pushing buttons. So Laura Jean went missing on August 19th, 1992 from Menasha, Wisconsin. Miss Lisa Jo, you can let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. Menasha. She was 20 years old at the time she went missing. She'll be 53 years old today, as of 2025. She has brown hair and green eyes. She has a tattoo of an Indian art form that resembles a squid on her right ankle. It says she may have been wearing brown tinted contact lenses at the time of her disappearance. Her ears are triple pierced, and her nicknames are Loriella and Ella. She was last seen wearing a sleeveless black rib knit turtleneck with horizontal stripes, black and white striped spandex shorts, black slip-on leather shoes, a silver watch on her left wrist, and multiple silver necklaces, bracelets, anklets, and earrings. So, Lori, was it Lori or Laura? Lori. Lori was seen entering her gray 1984 Volkswagen Bug or Rabbit at the Fox River Mall in Grand Chute, Wisconsin. On August 19th, 1992 at approximately 10 p.m. She apparently arrived at her boyfriend's apartment complex in the 300 block of West Wilson Avenue in Menasha, Wisconsin between approximately 10:15 and 10:30 p.m. Lori's boyfriend had been waiting in his apartment with his sister and a friend. Apparently, they heard her car pull up into the lot. They went looking for her when she did not come into the apartment. They found her locked vehicle in the complex parking lot, but no sign of her. And eventually, they notified the police. A styrofoam cup of soda was found on the hood of her car, but there were no other signs of her at the scene. No one saw her walk away from the parking lot or get into anyone's car, and her overnight bag and purse were left inside of her vehicle. There are a few clues in her disappearance. Authorities believe that she was taken by someone she knew, as it would be uncharacteristic of Lori to willingly get into a car with a stranger. There is no indication that she was forcibly kidnapped, so apparently there's no sign of a struggle or anything around the car or the parking lot. And they think that she may have gone willingly with someone she trusted and that she was harmed afterwards somewhere else. The cup on the hood of the car had an unidentified thumbprint on it, which police believe may have been from the abduction suspect. And it says, judging from the size of the print, it was probably, although not definitely, from a man. Let's hope that they collected the fingerprint. So in 2010, Larry Dwayne Hall, which is the smaller inset picture on the slide, he did confess to kidnapping and taking the life of Lori. He is currently serving a life sentence in a North Carolina prison for kidnapping 15-year-old Jessica Roach. Her body was found in an Indiana cornfield in 1993. Authorities stated that he became a suspect in Lori's disappearance in 1995 and is a suspect in the disappearance of other girls and young women. He did confess to kidnapping and taking the life of Tricia Reitler, who disappeared from Indiana in 1993. And he implied that he was involved in the 1988 disappearance of Paulette Webster from Illinois. Police believe he may have taken the lives of 30 to 40 women, but he has not been charged in any cases besides Jessica Roach's. Investigators searched the area where Hall said he buried Lori, but they were unable to find her body or any physical evidence to substantiate his confession. So they don't know if he really did kidnap Lori and take her life, or he was just a confessor, kind of like who is it? Otto's Tool. No arrests have been made in Lori's disappearance. Her case remains unsolved. There has been no activity on her bank accounts or social security number since she went missing. Foul play is obviously suspected in her disappearance. So if you have any information on her case, you can call the Menasha Police Department at 920-720-7109. I think I have two short articles, or one longer article and then a short article. The first one is from the Post Crescent, and it is from August of 2017. 25 years missing. What happened to Lori Depies? Get past the ads. Mary Wagner has endured some dreadful days in the 25 years since her daughter Lori disappeared, but a phone call in the spring of 2011 may have been the worst. That's when Wagner learned the horrifying details of suspect Larry Dwayne Hall's confession to kidnapping the 20-year-old at a town of Menasha, now Fox Crossing parking lot, assaulting and an odd ad popped up in front. Assaulting and taking her life before dumping her body in a wooded area. Her mother says what was really harmful was when Larry Hall was talking about what he supposedly did. You're wondering how your daughter can be carefree and happy one minute and then chloroformed and duped and someone is hurting her. Hall's confession has never been verified by authorities, and Lori's body has not been found. But his words, true or not, have had a lasting impact on Wagner. She says it was very unsettling. I can't imagine. Lori's disappearance continues to be unsettling to Wagner and to Lori's father, Mark of Fond du Lac. Lori has not been seen or heard from since August 19th, 1992. Her financial accounts have not been activated. Her car remained where she parked it that night in a lot. So did they not? Does that mean they didn't take it in for processing, other than the styrofoam cup on the hood? So her car remained where she parked it that night in the lot of the Town of Menasha apartment complex. Her parents are painfully aware of the 25th anniversary, but they aren't planning an observance. They will be grieving her loss as they have since 1992. Her father, Mark, says it's pretty much a blur. It almost seems like an impossibility that something can go on that long without being solved. I told a friend that I may pass away without getting an answer. That is a very good possibility. And that is so sad. He goes on to say, I've accepted that she is deceased, but the fact remains what happened. Wegner isn't overly optimistic that Lori's disappearance will be solved. This is her mother. She said maybe someone will get a conscience and fess up. Why is it just a blank slate? What happened to her? That question has confounded local police and state investigators for decades. Despite an exhaustive investigation involving a multitude of interviews, out-of-state trips, and searches, there is precious little evidence in Lori's case. What is known is that she worked a shift at the graffiti store in the Fox River Mall on August 19th, 1992. She left the store shortly before 10 p.m. She walked to the parking lot, got into her 1984 Volkswagen Rabbit, and drove to her boyfriend's apartment. Her boyfriend and two friends with him that night heard the noisy muffler on her car, but she never made it into the apartment. Police were called later that night, and her parents were informed the next day. The only solid physical evidence is her car and a drink container found on the roof of the car. Examinations of the car, so they did examine the car, and the cup did not lead to a breakthrough on her whereabouts. Jason Weber, who's the community liaison officer with the Fox Crossing Police Department, says, there's nothing to go on. It's almost like she vanished into thin air. All we have is that people were waiting for her and she did not show up. Several years ago, after the retirement of lead detective Michael Kruger, the Wisconsin Department of Justice took charge of the investigation. Weber said, basically, we pass information along. Weber, who is one of only two current officers who were on the police force when Lori disappeared in 1992, he says it's really hit and miss the kind of information that comes along. State officials declined to comment extensively about the investigation. The Wisconsin Department of Justice is still actively involved in this investigation and is following all relevant leads that are brought to light. This is according to Johnny Corominos, who is the Director of Communications and Public Affairs for the DOJ. He says, we encourage anyone with information about Miss Depies' tragic disappearance to come forward. Larry Hall emerged as a suspect in Lori's case after his arrest in the 1993 kidnapping of a 14-year-old Illinois girl. That arrest led to conviction that landed him in prison for life. During the investigation, police found notes with the words Lori, Lori, and Fox River in his van. Local investigators also determined that Hall attended a Civil War reenactment in Kaukauna the weekend before Lori disappeared. In November 2010, Hall dropped a bombshell by confessing to kidnapping and taking the life of Lori. He has never been charged with homicide, mainly because of a lack of physical evidence to support his confession. Her body has never been found, despite attempts to find her remains at a remote site in south central Wisconsin. Authorities tried several years ago to bring Hall to Wisconsin so he can show officers where he disposed of her remains, but the trip did not materialize. Weber says you really need more than a confession to build a case and to convict somebody. That's where the problem lies. Weber said Hall remains a suspect, but added that there are other potential suspects. Among those who don't believe Hall had anything to do with the kidnapping is Mark, Lori's father. He says, I'm not buying that much at all, especially without a body or anything to go on other than he confessed. I still cannot believe that she parked her car and got into Hall's car unless he had a firearm pointed at her. I think the real kidnapper was somebody close to Lori. Losing a child is an immeasurable loss for a parent. Mary Wegner and Mark Depies have felt that sense of loss since they learned of their daughter's disappearance. Mark was preparing to go fishing on August 20th, but got a 6 a.m. phone call from Lori's boyfriend, and he had headed to Appleton. It was the beginning of a harrowing ordeal that involved searches and frantic attempts to find out what happened. Mark says, I remember how mind-boggling it was to get a phone call like that. Can you just imagine getting a phone call? And he isn't obsessed with finding out who took Lori that fateful night in 1992. He says, I've lived this long without the answer, and a whole new set of emotions would come up if the case was solved. I would get mad again. He goes on to say, I think you have to move on. Trust me, I think about it often enough, but I don't dwell on it. Mark, who retired about 5 years ago, prefers to remember Lori's endearing qualities, including her easygoing nature and her sense of adventure. He says she was spontaneous. He also remembers Lori. Wegner also remembers Lori fondly, saying she was fun to be around. She enjoyed working with people, and she was very strong-willed. Wegner says, I think about Lori all the time. She gets more emotional on September 19th, which is Lori's birthday, than she does on August 19th, which is the day she went missing. Wegner retired with her husband in 1997. She loves the serenity and the scenery of her rural home, and Lori is never far from her mind. She says, you just carry on. So that is, so once again, if anybody has information to share about the disappearance of Lori, they should call the Wisconsin Department of Justice, a Division of Criminal Investigation at 920-751-4180. Oh, it's always heartbreaking to read these interviews with these parents. And I think I had one short article. Apparently one of Lori's friends maybe has an idea of who might have been responsible. So this article is it's kind of an excerpt from apparently this friend was on an episode of Dr. Phil. But it says who Lori Depies' best friend says she thinks may have been involved in the 20-year-old's 1992 disappearance. Victoria, who's the friend, says she was there the night her best friend Lori Depies vanished from the parking lot of her boyfriend Mark's apartment building late in the evening of August 19th, 1992. Victoria says Lori told her to meet at Mark's apartment. She confirms Mark and Lisa's claim that all three of them heard Lori pull into the lot. Lori never made it inside the building, and a search of the surrounding area involving Mark, Lisa, Victoria, and the local police turned up no trace of the then 20-year-old. Victoria says she believes a young man who she claims asked Lori out repeatedly and was politely turned down by Lori might have had something to do with her friend's disappearance. Describing an incident which she says took place about a week after Lori's disappearance, Victoria claims that this man, who has not been publicly identified, was showing erratic behavior at a get-together with friends. She says he was drawing, and some of the images were violent, like a man standing behind a girl with a bloody knife, and then a person standing behind a girl and stabbing them, claims Victoria, adding that the girl in the drawing was wearing something very similar to what Lori was wearing the night she disappeared. And it says, why does Victoria say she doesn't believe police have ever been able to question the man who made those drawings? So yeah, that's very interesting, I think, about this unnamed person that this friend, Victoria, says asked Lori out, was politely declined, and then apparently he had some erratic behavior and some very disturbing drawings. So what do you guys think about that? All right, let me get back down to your comments. Yeah, Mom says just blame pronunciation on accent. Yeah, my southern accent, I can't pronounce some stuff. Yes, me too. Artist says I'm a redneck from Arkansas, not an English scholar. Yeah, Mom says she plays the Kentucky. I'm from Kentucky card. The dude with the pork chop sideburns, that is the Hall fellow that apparently sounds like a serial offender because he is. Let me go back to. Let me get back to him. That is. And I know you probably asked that before I explained it, but just to reiterate, that is Larry Dwayne Hall. He confessed to kidnapping and taking the life of Lori. He's serving a life sentence in North Carolina for kidnapping a 15-year-old Jessica Roach. Her body was found in Indiana in 1993. He's also he confessed to kidnapping and taking the life of Tricia Reitler. She disappeared from Indiana in 1993. He implied he was involved in the 1988 disappearance of Paulette Webster from Illinois. And police believe he may have taken the lives of 30 to 40 women. But he has not been charged in any case besides Jessica Roach. So he is not a good fella. Yeah. Well, that answers that. Yep. Oh, yeah. I actually had pork chops for supper, Lisa Jo. That's what we had for supper tonight. Well, yeah. Paula says, is he a suspect? Yes, in the sense that he did confess to kidnapping and taking her life, but they could not what's the word I'm looking for? They could not confirm, not confirm. They didn't have anything to substantiate his confession. He offered, I think, or they were going to take him to someplace where he said he placed her body, but then they said that that didn't happen. Something happened, and they didn't go out there. So yeah, I would think that he would be a suspect in that he did confess, even though it could be a false confession. Oh my goodness. He's grilling. Isn't it cold down there for Florida? Mom says if he opens the door one more time, you're going to see me on Dateline. Hey, I DVR Dateline and watch it all the time. I'll be on the lookout for you. Oh goodness, you cracked me up. Arctic wants his steak rare. I want mine medium well. Arctic's got the heat on, the fireplace going, and under an electric blanket. See, I don't know. That would be too hot for me. I do have I got my flannel shirt on right now, and then I'm gonna get back into my warm jammies after I get off here, and I already got my warm fuzzy socks and my slippers on, so I'm trying to stay warm. But out working today, my feet were freezing. Mom says, I'm ready to climb into the heater. Move to Florida, they said. They live on a hill of lies. Yes. Arctic says the dude, this Hall, Dwayne, what was the name? Hall. The dude only being convicted of one crime and confessing to Lori's disappearance and homicide reminds me of Tommy Lee Sales, who liked to falsely confess to murders. Yeah. I think that this dude is probably a false confession, another oddest tool. Maybe they, as Mr. C said, maybe they offered him a 6-pack. In my opinion, I think it was somebody she knew. Possibly this, I don't know. I find it very interesting what the friend said about this guy who had asked her out She had, they said, politely refused, and then he was having this erratic behavior and all these drawings. Or it could be somebody else she knew, and a friend, or somebody she just maybe wasn't friends with, but just knew of in passing, maybe. But I hope they kept that. See, this was 1992. I hope they kept that fingerprint. And to the cup too was 1992, so they should have been able to do DNA testing on it. But now whether they did or not, who knows? Syrup. No, I say syrup. In my southern drawl, syrup. Yeah. Arctic says, I hate that they withhold the names of people of interest, but I understand, because if they aren't actually involved, I certainly wouldn't want certain people to run with the theory and destroy their name. True. That's true. Yep. Jocelyn says, wow. Exactly. Yep, exactly. Sunday says, repeat offender, so he's done this before, but he was out roaming for his next victim instead of in prison. Another thing that drives me nuts. Yeah, and he was a bad offender. I mean, he confessed, or he was convicted of one. Let's see, let me go back. He confessed to kidnapping Trisha Reitler. Implied he was involved in the disappearance of Paulette Webster. He was in prison for kidnapping 15-year-old Jessica Roach. Her body was found in the Indiana cornfield, and he was serving a life sentence. In 2010, he was serving a life sentence in North Carolina for that kidnapping. Unbelievable. So that would have been after Lori disappeared. Yep, that is true. Yep. Artist says DNA was still fairly new in 92, but testing could definitely have been done. Yeah. And hopefully, I mean, maybe by a miracle they kept the cup, and maybe, with the advances, if they kept it, if they could test it again or test it. But who knows, we all know how that goes. Evidence gets lost, gets destroyed, mysteriously disappears. So who knows? We can only hope that it's still around. All right, I think this is the last one, I believe. Yep. So this is Robert Joseph Fritz. Let me get his information. This is the youngest one. So Robert went missing on May 14th, 1983 from Campbellsport, Wisconsin. This is classified as a non-family abduction. He was just 5 years old. He would be 47 years old as of 2025. At the time he disappeared, he was 4 foot tall, 50 pounds. Excuse me, with blonde hair and blue eyes. He has a strawberry birthmark on his outer left thigh, just above his knee. At the time of his disappearance, it was 2 inches by 3 inches, or about the size of a cigarette pack. It says it may be larger now and lighter in color. He had difficulty pronouncing the letters T, K, and R at the time of his disappearance. Excuse me. I'll go drink. His nickname is Bobby Joe, which is sometimes spelled Bobby, Bobbie, Joe. So Robert was last seen playing in an empty lot in his family's Campbellsport, Wisconsin neighborhood on May 14th, 1983. The lot was beside the Mill Pond, Milwaukee River, in the area where the Campbellsport Firehouse now stands. He was with his sister and friends approximately a half a block from his family's residence when he was last seen. Sometime between 2:30 and 4:30 p.m., Robert told his sister he was hungry and he was going to walk home. Robert never arrived home. He has never been seen or heard from again. The toy gun he had been playing with was later found. After his disappearance, an extensive search was made of the Milwaukee River and the Mill Pond on the theory that he had drowned. No trace of him was ever found. He lived with his mother and 4 of his siblings on East Main Street, Highway 67, at the time of his disappearance. His father and 2 of his brothers lived in Illinois. His parents had gone through a bitter divorce, and a week after Robert vanished, his father remarried. Authorities did look into the possibility that Robert's father was involved in his disappearance, but they could find no evidence to support the theory. Both parents were cleared as suspects. Unfortunately, Robert's father has since passed away, and his mother has moved away from the Campbellsport area. Authorities eventually concluded that he must have been abducted, since their thorough search turned up no sign of him. So, S offender Michael Scott Minzer, who is the smaller picture on the slide, was identified as a suspect in Robert's case a year after he vanished. In 1980, he was convicted of essaying a 10-year-old boy. He lived alone at the Waldo Mill, which was a historic building 15 miles outside of Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and less than 20 miles from Campbellsport. Police excavated his property. They found boxes of CSAM, news clippings about Robert's abduction. They found decayed remnants of children's clothes and some small bones, but it could not be determined whether the bones were human. In 1990, Minzer there burned down the Waldo Mill, killing his 2 young stepsons in the process. He had previously been charged with essaying his stepsons, but he was acquitted. He was not indicted for the arson and the homicides until 1992, but he was ultimately convicted and sentenced to 40 years in prison. 40 years, really? Minzer passed away in custody in 2008 at the age of 59. He never cooperated with the investigation into Robert's disappearance. It says that Robert closely resembled his brother Tony in childhood and may look like him as an adult. And they couldn't fit it on the slide, but they did have a picture of his brother, who would be about the same age that that Robert would be now. So if you want to look at it, you can go on the Charlie Project and see it. So if you have any information on Robert's case, you can call the Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Office at 803-642-1761. And let me get the article. So this article is from May of 2023, so just a couple of years ago. For 4 decades, law enforcement and family members have been wondering what happened to the boy, also known as Bobby Joe. He vanished from his neighborhood on May 14th, 1983. Laura Engel says he was everyone's favorite. He was the baby. She has lived most of her life asking how her Hot Wheel riding, stuffed animal loving little brother disappeared. She says he had a monkey he carried around. They called him BJ and the Bear. I think that was a show at the time when we were kids. I love that show. Yeah, I remember that, BJ and the Bear. I think that's what it was called. I watched that show. Laura was 10 years old when Bobby Joe went missing in their Campbellsport neighborhood. She says we were playing like a block and a half away from home, kickball in a friend's backyard. He was wanting to go home. He was hungry. My sister walked him down the road, saw a straight shot to the house. She came back to play, and he just never made it home. She said she didn't realize the gravity of the situation until she got home herself and asked her mom where Bobby Joe was. Uh, sh- she said she was like, "What do you mean? He was with you guys," and that is when we realized we could not find him. Uh, Lieutenant Chris Randall of the Fond du Lac Sheriff's Office said Bobby Joe's mother had noticed her son was missing. She actually had to go to the neighbor's house because they did not have a phone at their home. A search quickly ensued. Even the dive team responded to the Mill Pond area. Detective Randall says the first night working into the early morning hours, and then the following day upstream, downstream from the dam, and as well as the leaf, it was this sludge pits for the sewer treatment facility in the village. Bobby Joe was nowhere to be found. His whereabouts are still unknown 40 years later. Chris Randall surmised, I think our gut feeling is it is an abduction case, a non-family abduction. Old newspaper clippings document the years of heartache for Laura's family. She even remembers celebrating his 6th birthday without him and his face on a milk carton. Oh, those dang milk cartons. As well as her mom's plea for answers. Um, Laura says her mother kept the Hot Wheels in front of the house. In the 1980s, investigators did look into a person of interest, someone convicted of child SA crimes and charged with arson and homicides for the deaths of his 2 stepchildren. A search warrant conducted at his home raised suspicion. Chris Randall says investigators noted that on the calendar on the date of May 14th was highlighted, which is a very, very odd thing to see, and with no specific notation as to why the 14th was highlighted. Investigators also found photographs of little boys in the residence and an article about Bobby Joe's disappearance. Randall says, in our line of work, coincidences happen, but when you start seeing all those things kind of lined up, it's hard to ignore that. But there wasn't enough evidence to charge him. And like I said earlier, he passed away in prison in 2008. Detective Eric Mullenbach from the Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Office said he's somewhere and it's just frustrating not to know where to look is the most frustrating part or what we could do next. He is the investigator assigned to the case and said that the case lacks evidence. He says, unfortunately, that's just the hand that we were dealt all those years ago. But it does not mean the case is cold. Physical items have been sent to a lab in Texas. Laura Engel and her brother recently did 23andMe and Ancestry DNA. She said, we were like, maybe we can try that. You try to stay hopeful and optimistic. And who knows, maybe another 5 to 10 years from now, something else will come out that will give us some guidance on how to move forward with this case. Some days it's hard for Laura to hold on to hope that Bobby Joe is still with us. She says, there are some days I really wonder, but I try to be hopeful that he has a good life. Maybe someone just couldn't have their own kid and wanted a little boy. Every time a new age progression is made, she gets a copy and she keeps them in the back of her mind just in case she might see him one day. She says, we travel more now. You never know. He could be anywhere. I like to hope he is still out there and maybe he does have a good life, married, kids. Maybe he is a grandpa. Who knows? Anything is possible. With Laura's parents now gone, they never had closure. That is so sad. But she remained hopeful she will get it one day. She believes someone out there knows something about her baby brother. So anyone with information about the disappearance is asked to contact the Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Office. Oh, it just breaks my heart, these cases, especially with these little kids. It's 5 years old. All right, let me get back up to your comments. Artie says, as long as it didn't get lost in transit to Quantico, and true. Yep, Artie says the SO is his prime suspect. Yeah, I mean, They said he had boxes of CSAM. He had the calendar with the 14th highlighted, which is the day that Robert disappeared. He had news clippings about Robert, decayed children's clothing. Now, it did not said there were small bones found, but they don't know if they were human. I don't know if didn't say if in the articles that I found if they ever got them tested to see if they were human. So yeah, this what's his name here? Definitely number one too. Yep, Jocelyn says the newspaper clippings say a lot, in my opinion. Absolutely. Yeah, to me, the newspaper clippings and having that date highlighted. It's like they said, you know, it could have nothing, it could be nothing, it could be something. But to me, I'm not one to, I know that coincidences happen, but with, you know, you take everything together, the clipping about his disappearance, the date being highlighted, he's a known SO. So you put all that together and it, you know, you have to wonder. Yes, the broken as system. Absolutely. Yeah, artist says exactly, Mom. All I need to say are 2 words to show how broken them. Yeah, Josh Duggar. Yes. Yes. Yes, gross. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Lisa Joe says, I don't feel like he's still out there. Yeah, unfortunately, of course, we always try to be positive, but I don't. If I was to guess, I would, you know, say he's probably not on this earth anymore, unfortunately. Absolutely. Prayers for answers. Yeah, the guy at the bottom is the POS SO with the boxes of CSAM. This crazy boxes. Mm. Yeah, Lisa says not with that dirtbag having so much circumstantial evidence. Yeah, they can make cases on, but unfortunately, I think didn't it say he passed away? Let me go back, or am I thinking about the one before? Let me go back to Charlie Project. Yeah, he passed away. Menzer is his last name. He passed away in custody in 2008. So yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Lisa says altogether it's more than a coincidence. Absolutely. Yep, he did pass. All right, I think that is all that I had. Oh, 3 hours, almost on the mark. Not too bad, not too bad. All right. So if anybody has anything else, any last comments, we'll get out of here. Let's see, today is, I almost said Monday because this is our missing person Monday, Tuesday. I will have a video upload, an unsolved homicide video, short video uploaded. I'll upload it tonight, so it'll be available to the members as soon as it's uploaded. And then about, I think I'm gonna schedule it for 9 to be available to everybody. So be on the lookout for that. I've uploaded a lot of videos this past week, so please do check them out. Some missing videos. I think I did upload another unsolved homicide. Friday, I should be able to do a True Crime After Dark. I know I said that last Friday, but I forgot what schedules were going on. But I should have the house to myself, me and the cats, Friday. So I'm hoping to do True Crime After Dark. Check out my playlist. I've been trying to organize my playlist. I've got the missing playlist, most important, missing persons, and I have like the unsolved cases, and just check them out. Thank you to everybody who was in chat. Thank you to everybody with wrenches who was throwing in the links for me. I'm trying to remember to thank you guys. I always forget. Thank you to the lurkers. We love our lurkers. Thank you to replay crew. We adore our replay crew. Let's see. Oh yeah. So I'm thinking next Monday, and it should be on a Monday now that all the holidays and ball games and everything are over. We can get back to our normal schedule. We'll do that. We'll start with the East Coast. I think I've made my decision. I think we've had a couple of votes for East Coast, so we'll do East Coast. It's in alphabetical order, so I'll just have to see what the first one will be. So that will be our next missing person Monday next week. Love you too, Miss Paula. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Mom, for being here. You know I love you and adore you. Keep up the good fight. You too, ma'am. You're a fighter too. Yes, please look at the little boy I covered last night. Absolutely. I will, and I will get a video, live stream, something together, all of the above. Most definitely. Yes, we could. Are you talking about Friday? Yes, we can discuss Royal Russell Long. We could do that Friday if you want to. Would you be willing to come up on panel with me to talk about him? I'll do my research and get some slideshow and stuff together. I'm going to get you up on panel, kicking and screaming. And anybody else who would like to come up, well, I know Arctic's not feeling well. If Arctic is feeling better, he's always more than welcome to come up. But absolutely, we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about Friday. Thank you once again, Miss Farr. Thank you, Southern Gal. Great live. Thank you. Yes, mods, chat. You guys make it. You guys make it. You guys make it great. So I'm off to bed. My throat is getting sore again. I know mine is too. Thank you, Miss Doodle, for being here. Another one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Please do check out Doodle, check out Arctic, check out Mom, check out everybody, all our friends, you know, all our friends' channels. A lot of them are listed in the description box. All of them are listed on the front page of my, what am I trying to say? My channel page at the bottom. Just scroll down past all the videos and you'll find them. Thank you, Miss Peggy. Take care, stay safe and warm, everyone. Absolutely. Sweet dreams. Thank you, Miss Jocelyn, for being here. You're more than welcome, Miss Paula. Absolutely. Lisa said actually she has quite a few FOIAs out, so maybe hold on. Yes. Whenever you get everything together, let me know. And we will do, if you will come up on panel with me, we will do a live stream. Yes, about Royal Russell. I can't say it. Triple R. I'm gonna call it instead of Triple H, like in wrestling. Triple R. Yeah, just let me know, Miss Lisa. I will do it. Mom says I had his mom on panel. Yes, I saw that. Yes, I will. Trying to think. I'm gonna be working the rest of the week. I probably will be working the rest of the week through Saturday because I didn't work yesterday because it was too freaking cold. But yes, I will get everything together for a video. Lisa says, "Ooh, you work late, girl." I used to work late now, but now what I do now, I don't work after dark because for one, I can't see to drive after dark, and I'm not going to be out delivering groceries by myself after dark, even in a small town that I'm very familiar with, because you never know. You never know. Lots of stuff has happened in the town that I work in. Yeah, we can do it whenever, as late as you want to do it. We have night owls. And anybody who can't stay up late to watch the live, I I get more replay crew on my live streams and views on my what am I trying to say? More views on replay crew on my live streams than I do on my videos that I do. So that would work. Thank you, Miss Peggy. What are you talking about, Arctic? Arctic said that article don't know his head from his arse. What article are you talking about? Thank you. Thank you. Lisa said she will come on panel for that. Oh, ICE researched him for years. What is Arctic? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking about yourself? You got me confused. Oh, that Arctic doesn't know his head from his... Yes, you do. Have you been taking your gummies? You're talking crazy, man. Yes, we always support Mom. Absolutely. Yep, you are more than welcome. You know, Pete, y'all, you know, Mom is always welcome. Lisa, I've been trying to get her to come up. Arctic's more always welcome. Doodle, Miss PJ, you know, anybody's welcome. Dave, if we could get him up out of bed early enough to come to a live stream, or do a live stream later after he gets up, because I know he works nights. Yeah, anybody is welcome. Absolutely. So you'll come up for a triple R. Artist said I'll definitely come up for that. I don't care how shifty he feels. Oh, you've researched him. I thought you said ICE. Yes, you've researched him for years. Absolutely. I think I can have like 10 people up on the panel. We can have the whole crew up here talking about it. Yes, Miss Paula will be up. She's a night owl. Absolutely. All right, guys, I'm going to quit babbling now and get off of here. Oh, there's Dandy. Were your ears burning? We were talking about you earlier. You were gifted a membership, lady, thanks to Miss Farr. Hey, Dandy, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying warm in Colorado. Thank you for dropping in. Oh, Lisa says, I did say ICE on accident. Yes, a power panel. Absolutely. An elite panel. Talking about you guys, not me. You guys are elite. Oh, I wish I could go to one. It's 11 p.m. Central here. My voice is about to give out on me again. Yes. And once again, let me go over one more time. So we can do another moo cow. Vid inquiries checked in with $4.99 super chat. She's going to be a replay crew. Miss Farr gifted 5 Southern Gal True Crime memberships. Arctic has been a member for 5 months. Miss Farr also $10 Australian super chat. Miss Doodle has been a member for 7 months. Arctic gifted 10 Southern Gal True Crime memberships. Kimber is not a new member. She just renewed. She's been a member since the beginning. Patriotism has been a member for a month. Miss Farr gifted 5 more True Crime. So that's what, 10 in all, or 10 from Farr, 10 from Arctic. So thank everybody so much for all that. Very much appreciated. You guys blow me away. Blow me away. So thank you, everybody. Oh, here we go. Miss Lisa Joe has been a member for 8 months. Yay, Miss Lisa Joe. And almost forgot the cow. Where's the cow? There it is. One more for... There we go. We got a whole pasture tonight. Thank you guys. Oh, you didn't realize it had been that long? Time flies when you're having fun. Or I hope you're having fun here. Oh, yeah. So you definitely got to, if you feel like it, be up on panel. Arctic says triple R. Or well, it's not triple R. RRL is connected to an Oklahoma City abduction from the fairgrounds. So, yeah. Oh, I might know what case you're talking about. So, yeah, definitely been on my radar. 2 OKC abductions. Yes, we have somebody says we have a stampede of cows. Absolutely. Yes, I think, I don't know if I've shared Cinda Pallet and Charlotte Kinsey. I believe looked at their information, looked at that case. Lisa Joe says he's also thought to be responsible for the Rawlins 4. Oh, he's a long haul trucker. There we go. Long haul. Dave needs to be in on this. Dave has his thoughts on long haul truckers. Long haul long haul trucker. The potential is endless. Yep, the Sharon Bald Eagle. Yep, that's where when I was looking at that, because I was going to include her last week in the South Dakota, a missing. Yes, this is a no slaughter stockyard. Yes, we love all our cows. Yep, and the Carney. Yeah, we'll definitely, yes, we'll get something together. Yes, that's how we got to, the Sharon Ball. Well, come up. There it is. Yeah. Oh, wrong one. There it is. Yeah, that's how because you mentioned him, or you mentioned Sharon Bald Eagle's case last week during the. Excellent. Arctic says he's got Sharon on his to-do list to cover. Excellent. Yes, it is definitely too cold to be out in the pasture tonight. I agree. 100%. All right, guys. Yes, we have some. They're not our horses, but neighbors down the road and around the corner. They have 2 horses that they keep out in our pasture. So they're out there. I like to watch them out there playing. Oh, he has to get locked in the pasture. Yeah. Yep. All right, guys. So we'll work out a time when all of us can get together for this Royal Russell Long live stream. Everybody is welcome to join me on panel. Arctic, Lisa, Mom, whoever else wants to come up. We'll get that worked out. Like I said, Friday I should be able to do True Crime After Dark. So, and then tomorrow, or for members tonight, and everybody else tomorrow, I'll have a short video. Dandy says those weird. Oh yeah, I've seen those. Those weird fly masks for horses are weird. All right, so I'm gonna quit babbling now until Friday. Everybody stay warm, try to stay healthy, get better, be careful out there, always be aware of your surroundings, take care of each other. Well, that's all we got is each other, and hopefully I will see you again Friday. Thanks, guys.